Grab a wire basket and a metal wreath hanger from the dollar store. Squeeze and press in the bottom of the wire basket until there's a flattened, indented base. Reach for a metal wreath hanger and bend it so it curves into place. Check where you want to position the handle and add glue to the spots that will attach to the wire basket. Secure and hold the handle in place and allow it to set. Paint and coat the entire handle in black chalk paint. Grab a hold of a metal tag from the dollar store and paint it with the same black chalk paint that you've painted the rest of the piece with. Adhere some metal letters spelling cafe and adhere some jewel studs to the tag. Then adhere the tag to the front of the basket. Add some finishing touches by covering up the glue residue with some black paint. And now you have a basket from the dollar store turned into a cute large cup-shaped coffee pod holder. I hope this inspires you to create your own dollar store kitchen decor. Grab several mini wood crates and a couple of metal napkin holders from the Dollar Tree. Lay out the mini wood crate bins, stack and adhere 3 crates together using hot glue. Then stack 3 other crates and adhere with glue. Adhere the bottom of 2 metal napkin holders together. Secure the bottom of the napkin holders using some zip ties. Glue both of the stacked crates together. Adhere the crate stacks to the top of the napkin ring base. The last thing to do is insert your craft paint or other craft supplies. And now you have a stylish and functional craft organizer. I hope this inspires you to create your own organizer using items found at the dollar store.
You're gonna love these genius organizing hacks using 5 containers I found at the dollar store. I found this little clear jar with a lid. It's intended to be a candy jar, but I thought it would also work so well for organizing dishwasher pods under my kitchen sink. If you find these little book bins at the dollar store, they can be used for so many things beyond books. Turn them on their side and fill them up with water bottles. This makes it so much easier to grab a bottle. You can quickly see everything at a glance so you're not digging through the whole cabinet, and nothing will get lost in the far back, never to be seen again. If you're hosting a party, look for these little caddies the next time you're at the dollar store. The 3 compartments in this caddy are awesome for organizing all kinds of things, and I have 2 ideas for you today when you're hosting parties. Another way to use this caddy during a party is as a little holder for your s'more supplies. Carry it outside to the campfire and you're all set for a night of making s'mores around the fire. If you're tired of your kids constantly asking for snacks, create a snack bin using one of these large tubs from the dollar store. If you tend to buy snacks in bulk for the whole month, this is a helpful way to make them last longer and ration them out week by week instead of them all being eaten in week 1.
The next time you're at Dollar Tree, pick up a few of these common household items to get your kitchen organized. So I'm going to begin here in my pot and pan drawer. I have a nice spot for my pots, but then the lids are just kind of floating here in this pull-out drawer. So I'm going to begin by taking the self-adhesive hooks we got, and I'm going to hold up my pot lid, and then I'm going to place them around the pot lid so that they're nice and snug. And then this is just going to help guide where to put the hooks. And then you'll see when I open the door here, the pot lids are mounted on the side of my cupboard, and that frees up space underneath for the drawer. Next, I'm going to head under my sink here, and this place is just kind of a catch-all for all my cleaning products, and they're just kind of very messily stored under here. So I actually got this container a while ago at Dollar Tree. It's an over-the-hook door container, and it actually fits the kitchen bags very nicely, so you can take the roll out of that big clunky box. Next, I'm going to take this over-the-door hook storage piece that I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use it to hang all of my scrub brushes for when I do the dishes, and this just keeps them off my counter and out of the way and easily accessible within arm's reach for when I'm doing the dishes. I'm then going to take this smaller over the hook door one, and I thought this would be perfect for my Swiffers and my cleaning dusting supplies to just hang here on the inside of the cabinet. Next, I'm going to take this magazine rack, and I'm actually going to put it into a big large tote, and this is going to store all my big larger items that don't really fit into cabinetry nicely, and then I can just take this tote and put it in my pantry. I hope that you found these organizational tips and hacks helpful, and maybe you can use some of these in your kitchen.
Grab some clear shower rings from the Dollar Tree. Grab 3 large plastic storage bins from the Dollar Tree. Evenly add and connect shower rings to each side of the storage bin on the top and the bottom to connect additional storage bins, and use the shower rings on the top for hanging it to the closet rod. Now you're able to take advantage of the vertical space with this hanging storage. Grab one 10x8 and two 6x4 acrylic photo frames from the Dollar Tree. Remove all of the paper and plastic packaging from the frames. Add some glue to the edges of the back of both of the smaller frames and then adhere it to the larger frame. And now you have an easy and modern acrylic sunglass holder. Grab some cabinet shelves from the Dollar Tree. Line up cabinet shelves side by side and straighten out the legs if necessary, and then add some zip ties to the legs to attach everything together. This makes for a perfect shoe rack for both kids and adults. Grab some pegboards from the Dollar Tree. Start by gluing 3 square pegboards side by side. Next, create some dividers by adding some glue around the edges of one of the square pegboards, the bottom of both of those, and sticking it to the base. Now you have a sturdy shelf divider to use for clothing or accessories. Grab 2 pegboards and adhere them together, and then add some pegs. This makes for great storage for hanging and storing all kinds of jewelry. Grab some removable hooks from the Dollar Tree. Get a hanger and adhere the hanger hooks either using the packaging instructions or using some glue. Now you have attached hanger hooks to easily attach additional hangers with clothes to save space or match sets. Grab 2 broomsticks from the Dollar Tree. Grab 2 of these mop and broom holders. Grab 4 8x10 canvases. Start by detaching the canvas from all of the frames. Then glue 2 of the wood pieces from the detached canvas together. Then glue the back of the mop and broom holders and add that and adhere it to the wood pieces. Then lock in a broomstick on both sides of each of the mop and broom holders. I hope these Dollar Tree organizing hacks help inspire you to create some organization for your space.
Head over to the dollar store and grab some baskets. Grab 2 dish stacking racks and place them overlapping each other. Grab some white zip ties and place them onto the dish racks. Pull the zip ties tight, cut off the excess zip ties. Hang this vertically on a wall. Roll up some towels and place it in between all the legs of the dish racks. You now have a way to hang and place your towels in a bathroom. Grab some shower curtain rings and hang them on a rod. Grab the hooks of your jeans, fold them in half, and place them onto the shower curtain rings as an easy way to hang your jeans. You can also use this same concept by putting the handles of your purses into the shower curtain rings and store your purses. You can also hang your shower curtain rings onto a hanger and then place your tank tops onto the shower curtain rings to keep them organized. Need a way to store your flip-flops? Grab a basket, place your flip-flops in a V formation into the basket. Once you have them all into the basket, place it on a shelf. Grab some wire baskets and some shower hanging hooks. Place 4 shower hanging hooks in the corners of one of the wire baskets and connect those to another basket above. On the top basket, you'll repeat the same process. Place this in your closet, hook it onto the hanging rack, and use it to store several different items. I started by painting the crates with some white apple barrel paint. Once the crates were dry, I went ahead and slid them onto the hanging rack. I hung these over my door, and now I have an easy grab station. Head on over to the dollar store and grab some paper towel holders. I grabbed a paper towel holder and I placed it onto the command hook. I grabbed my hats and slid it onto the paper towel holder. I started with dollar store adhesive and spread it on the bottom of my pencil holders. I grabbed some fishing line and I wove it through each of the pencil holders and tied it into place. I grabbed some silverware, placed them into each of the pencil holders. I started by grabbing a sign from the dollar store. I grabbed some adhesive and I spread it around the base of a paper towel holder. Next, I placed them onto the board together and I let this set. I grabbed a hanger and slid it onto the paper towel tubes. Head over to the dollar store and grab some baskets. Grab 2 dish stacking racks and place them overlapping each other. Grab some white zip ties, pull the zip ties tight, hang this vertically on a wall, roll up some towels and place it in between all the legs of the dish racks. Grab some shower curtain rings, grab the hooks of your jeans, fold them in half, and place them onto the shower curtain rings. You can also use this same concept by putting the handles of your purses into the shower curtain rings. You can also hang your shower curtain rings onto a hanger and then place your tank tops onto the shower curtain rings. Grab a basket. Place your flip-flops in a V formation into the basket. Once you have them all into the basket, place it on a shelf. Grab some wire baskets and some shower hanging hooks. Place 4 shower hanging hooks in the corners of one of the wire baskets and connect those to another basket above. On the top basket, you'll repeat the same process. Place this in your closet. I started by painting the crates with some white paint. Once the crates were dry, I went ahead and slid them onto the hanging rack.
Take plastic frames purchased from Dollar Tree and lay them face up in rows next to each other in a drawer. Place spices on top of them. Take a broom handle, wrap it in macrame string, take gold baskets from Dollar Tree and zip ties. Zip tie and secure the baskets to the broom handle. Take 2 command hooks for brooms and place them on the wall sideways. Take 2 wire cabinet shelves and 2 plastic bins. Bend the legs of the shelves towards the center. Place storage container lids in the grooves. Now you have the perfect plastic storage container organization. Take 2 wire shower caddies and weave them together. Use zip ties, cut the zip tie tails. Now you have the perfect storage for cooking pans, baking sheets.
You'll need 10 of these buckets and a collection of zip ties. I am going to start by connecting 4 buckets by the handles. Once I have 4 together for the base, now I'm going to make the second layer. So I'm going to need 3 buckets for this, and I'm going to use a Sharpie to mark where I can connect these buckets. Now I'm going to use a wood burning tool to put some holes right through the plastic. Once I have the holes made on both the bottom row and the second row, I'm just going to connect them with zip ties again. The very top is going to have 1 bucket right on top. This works incredibly well in the corner of a room. Buff all the ends of the zip ties, making sure it's nice and safe.
Take a clear adhesive hook from Dollar Tree and a paper towel holder. Add toilet paper rolls and you have easy and inexpensive toilet paper storage. Place scrunchies and hair ties over the top and you have an easy and cheap storage solution. Loop the zip ties around the paper towel stand, evenly spaced and secure in place. Take scissors and cut off the excess of the zip tie. Use a mini hot glue gun to add little dots of hot glue to make sure the zip ties stay in place. Cover the entire stand with gold spray paint.
Are you tired of those overcrowded cabinets? Grab you 2 cake pans and a bag of marbles. Take one of those other cake pans, put it on top, and look at it spin. It's perfect for organizing.
Head over to Dollar Tree and grab these hanging flower baskets. You'll also need a tomato cage. I stuck it into the ground and grabbed some black Rust-Oleum spray paint and spray painted the entire tomato cage, cut the bottom ends off. I placed the flower baskets onto the tomato cage. Run on over to the Dollar Tree and grab one of these blue baskets. What can you do if you don't have enough cabinet space? Grabbed a ruler and I'm marking where exactly I want each of these bins to go on my wall. Now for stability, you can choose exactly how you'd like to adhere these baskets to your wall, adding 2 screws to each basket or possibly 4. You're going to need some hooks. I'm going to grab some bins and I'm going to hook them onto the hook. So now I can separate out my darks from my whites. I'm going to take an over the door hanging rack and I'm going to hook it over the top of my door. This is perfect for ironing boards.
We're going to start with a baking pan and we're going to fill it with a bunch of marbles. I need to remove the back off the glue dots and then peel off the backing. And I'm going to place it onto the bottom of the baking sheet. I'm going to flip them back over. As you can see here, this swivels really nicely. I'm going to take a cooling rack. I'm going to bend up either side. Now I'm going to tip those cooling racks up and I'm going to tie the top of the cooling racks together as well as the bottom. I'm going to place the glue dots onto the baking sheet. Take those cooling racks and I'm going to stick them onto the glue dots. And I'm going to press firmly to make sure they adhere well.
Grab a cooling rack and some E6000 in a dollar store chalkboard. Put 4 dots of E6000 glue on the back of the chalkboard, press down and let dry. Hang with command hooks on the wall. Grab a cooling rack and clip on some dollar store clips and pencil holders. I picked up a dollar store cooling rack and a dollar store bin. I placed the cooling rack inside the bin, and from there I was able to organize the Tupperware lids perfectly. Grab a cooling rack and some pliers to bend the cooling rack into a U shape. Be gentle as you do this, as the bars of the cooling rack might break if you aren't careful. Now the spice shelf is no more, and it's so much easier to get to everything. You can also hang a cooling rack sideways with command hooks and put in scarves, jewelry, kitchen utensils, sunglasses.
You'll need 4 of these chrome napkin holders, a paper towel holder, a set of these plastic chopping boards. First thing is to trace the napkin holder onto the chopping board 4 times and then cut out the half circles. I'm attaching those pieces of the plastic chopping board to the side of the napkin holder. I'm going to take these napkin holders and glue them to the bottom of the paper towel holder. Attach 2 more toward the top of the paper towel holder. Once the glue is all dry, for a little added security, I'm going to use some zip ties.
So what I've got here is a pool noodle from an old project that's already cut. And then what I need to do from here is just take a pen or a pencil or marker and just kind of mark where this spot is. I'm just gonna go ahead and make a slit into about half of the pool noodle. Next, I'm gonna flip the noodle over, and I've got these great little picture holder strips, and you're gonna wanna put it on the back side of where each of these are. So I start by peeling the backing off. And now I stick and press it on the wall, and I need to wait 30 seconds at minimum. I just open the pool noodle like so, and I stick my broom handle inside. Here they are, all hung up, and I'm just absolutely thrilled with how easy this was and how it turned out.
all those lonely donated lampshades, pick up a matching pair. Pick up a thrifted belt. Run a bead of clear glue around the perimeter. Take the other lampshade, place it on top of the other lampshade, take some jute twine and tie the inner hardware of the two lamps together. Give the connected shades a little shake to make sure they are securely connected. Take the belt and buckle it around the skinny center of the two lampshades. Add a little glue to the loose end of the belt and secure it to the rest of the belt. Find a thin wood circle disc. Paint the edge with some acrylic paint. And peel and stick wallpaper is perfect for this project.
First, you need to wet your lampshade thoroughly with some water. We mix together 2 cups of water, 4 drops of dishwashing soap, and 4 cups of cement. I then painted this mixture on the wet lampshade and let it dry completely. Now it's time to make a cement base for the pot. After letting the cement fully dry and cure, we then used a drill to drill in the drainage hole. I added some potting soil.
You'll never believe what you can make from an old lamp and a glass shade from the thrift store. It's time to paint the lamp now. Is cover it with a coat of water-based clear coat. I want to attach it to the lamp base, so I'm going to use some contact cement to do that. It's time to pop it onto the rest of the lamp base. I want to fill the glass shade now completely with soil. My new planter is ready for some plants. I found this lamp not too long ago at the thrift store. Before applying the paint, I'm going to give the base a quick sanding with some gritty sandpaper. I'm going to apply a decoupage medium to the area I want to work with first. Now to start applying the decoupage paper. I want to dampen the paper with a wet paper towel. With everything done and dry, the last thing I want to do is cover up all those little paper bits on the underside of the lamp. To start this project, I want to remove everything but the main section of this lamp. I'm going to add the glue to each of the joints and then leave it all to dry. I found these signs at the dollar store. I'm going to add a thinner wood round. A little wood glue will hold this into place perfectly. I'm going to find the middle and use the top of the lamp to trace a little circle. I'm ready to paint. I'm going to use the white chalky paint to cover both the base of the lamp and the wood. I want to attach the wood top to the lamp. The circle that I drew before is going to help me so that the lamp is correctly centered. Add some glue and then I can join them together and it'll be nice and solid.
I'm going to rip down all the fabric off of my lampshade. So I'm going to take it outside and give it a quick spray paint. And then after that, I decided I needed to spray paint one more thing. And that was a mason jar sealing part of the lid that I'm going to use later on. I'm going to take this wood slice. I'm going to give this a good coat of sealer. I'm also going to do like the live edges. And once that's all sealed, it's going to be time to grab that mason jar lid and drill a tiny hole in the middle. And now it's time to assemble. I have some E6000 industrial glue that I'm putting in a little hole where like a finial for a lamp would go. And that's where I'm going to kind of adhere that mason jar sealer. I'm going to put some more E6000 glue along the rim here. So I'll go ahead and set that down. Got it in place. And now it's time to drill. It's all good. Going to flip it up.
Grab some hot glue and put a bead of glue along one side of your lampshade and then add some twine or jute. And we're going to wrap that around the lampshade until we cover the entire thing. After you have all your tassels made, we are going to add these to the bottom of our lampshade. And I decided to hot glue these. You could use a needle and thread and tie them and sew them on the edge, but this worked out perfect. You are going to simply trim off the excess tails.
Set an edge of your lampshade against one edge of the wallpaper. Measure in 1/2 inch to 1 inch and mark it by running a pencil where the shade meets the paper. Spray the outside of the lampshade with spray adhesive. Roll the lampshade onto the wallpaper, pressing and smoothing as you go. Apply double-sided tape to the inside lip of the top and bottom of the lampshade. Wrap the overage border of the wallpaper over the edge of the shade and press onto the double stick tape. Take some more tape and apply it to the top and bottom of the lampshade. Take some ribbon in a coordinating color and press half of the width onto the double stick tape and secure on the inside of the shade. Do this for the top and bottom of the shade. Continue the lamp makeover by spray painting the base of your lamp.
Next time you're at the thrift store, pick yourself up a couple of lampshades. To begin my project, I just took apart the lampshade, so I just began with some scissors, cutting apart the fabric and ripping it off. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this little knob back on. Then I'm going to go ahead here with a hot glue gun, just going to attach this faux moss onto the wired parts. I came in with these solar fairy lights and wrapped them all around my lampshade.
So to get started, I am going to take apart the lamp and I'm just going to put some alcohol on the paper towel and wipe down my lamp base. I'm just giving a little light base coat to this. And then I have some all-in-one pre-mixed stucco patch. And I'm just using an old chip brush and I'm just going to coat the entire thing. While that's drying, I'm going to take that really kind of dingy old looking lampshade. I'm using some white chalk paint. That's water that you saw me mist on there. And it just makes the paint kind of flow and cover nicely. I'm going to let that dry. Then I'm actually going to do a second coat. I have a medium gray paint here and I've also added a little water to it. I'm just going to take a regular paintbrush. So I'm just going to work on getting this whole lamp base covered in this. While that gray is still wet, I'm grabbing some mud by Dixie Belle. I put a glove on to put this part on. It's a lot like spackle. Let that dry for about an hour and then grab a sanding block and get that all sanded smooth down. And then for even more dimension, I have white chalk paint and then a lighter gray little sea sponge here that I'm just getting kind of damp. And I've also misted my paint plate. Now I'm just gonna kind of dab around and keep working on this faux finish. And then after I do all that, now I have black and brown paint. Okay, so I'm watering down that paint a little bit. And a push pin, I'm using the tip, the little pin, to add some little dot. Lastly, just to seal in all this, I used a matte clear spray.
Picked up this thrifted lampshade that I got at my local thrift store, these embellishments that I found at my local fabric store. I began placing my lace appliques over the lampshade. I'm next going to bring in some spray adhesive and I'm just going to spray the back of the lace applique and then I'm going to lay it in place on my lampshade. Once my pieces were fully placed on, I came in with this So Soft fabric paint, just went very lightly over some of the edge detailing.